if you get rid of this idea of uh, God acting through natural causes. This is what intelligent design. For some reason, they cannot deal with a God who could operate through natural causes in the universe. I mean, why God should have to operate through supernatural causes is for other Christians is somewhat a strange idea. The problem if you have a God who has to directly tinker, who has to actually break the chain of natural causality, is that you have an enormous problem with evil. The God who tinkers does not seem to be a very intelligent designer. No, this seems to be a God who fixes some things but leaves a lot of other things unfixed. And that creates huge problems. How are you going to explain the 5 great extinctions that have occurred in the evolution of our cosmos? It seems like an awful waste of life. Or how are you going to explain crises like AIDS or the Black Death of the Middle Ages, which wiped out a third of the population of Europe? Now, how doesn't what God who sort of tinkers, designing complex life forms, but doesn't actually seem to bother about the impact of organisms on other organisms and the amount of suffering that can entail? You've got a huge problem. And therefore, most Christians prefer the notion of a God who works through natural causes and whose relationship, although it may be to ultimately to every particular thing in the universe, is always mediated through the whole. Because this means that even though we don't know, why, for instance, this child is suffering from AIDS and dying, that how do you give meaning to that? But that the totality of all that exists, which we don't understand, theologians don't understand, scientists don't understand, no human beings understand, that with that God's relationship to the totality, if we could understand it, would allow us to understand also the particular events that happen within it. This view is also stresses, the mainstream Christian view also stresses the autonomy of the cosmos. And human beings sometimes have a problem with too much autonomy. I think that one of the reasons why intelligent design has been so popular amongst conservative evangelical circles is that this intelligent designer God of the universe fits in very nicely with the idea of a God who's got a plan for my life, a definite plan, and can intervene to make it happen. And so, although in one sense often we want to preserve our free will, in other circumstances, we really want a God to take care of things. And that, I think, is the emotional traction in some cases of intelligent design. It argues for an intelligent design, and because it's a scientific theory, you can't say it's God. So you have to say, well, it could be some super intelligent alien. And for the more traditional religions, which insist upon a transcendent God, the idea that God's activity could not be distinguished from that of a super intelligent alien raises a whole lot of questions. It also raises the question, which I don't think they've yet addressed, is as our scientific powers grow, and as scientists claim that within a few decades, we will be able to create life from scratch. We maybe, give us a few hundred or thousand years, we might well be able to create a world like this. Now, would that make us God? I don't think so. But if you buy into intelligent design, then you basically buy into the notion of God as equivalent to a super intelligent alien who may actually have some moral flaws and are not necessarily take such good care of everything that they have that this super intelligent being has created.